I don't know what I did. I literally rubbed my eyes and it started filming. Like, what? Hello, darlings. I am back. If you have no idea who I am, my name is CJ. I'm a makeup artist. I'm also a licensed esthetician and a certified lash artist. I haven't come to this page in a long time, but today's gonna be like a relaxed get ready with me. Planning on doing like a two-tone to match this hair. I have not done a makeup look in a long time, and I just feel like I need to do a makeup look to honor this amazing split dye job. This little thing in the back, that is Mika, so if you see her move at all through the video, don't be alarmed. That's just my dog. She's totally curled up. You can see she's messed up my bed. I don't even know why I make it, because she tears it up every time. But yeah, I'm just gonna hop right in. I'm gonna start off with skincare, and this might be a little bit of a long video because I'm just gonna kind of like take my time and get ready. But yeah, so I always start off with skincare because it's crucial to have like a good base to, you know, have a good, you know, foundation look and all that good stuff. It's really important to have skincare. I like to start off with the eyes, and I'll list all my products down in the description box. That was just the Laneige like water bank. It has its own little like ceramic ball that stays cool, but I like to use my roller just because I'm going to use it for the rest of my face. So I usually just pull it out real easy, and this just helps prevent puffiness. I like to roll out areas that I might have like crow's feet, or the possibility, just to get some circulation stimulating right there. And the next thing that I'm going to go on with is this vitamin E and C serum from Sephora. I usually use like a whole vial. Yeah. The next thing that I'm going to go away with is this Virgin Marula facial oil. I tend to use, I'm a little bit more on the oily side. I'm combination oily, but I do wear heavier makeup, and I feel like having a facial oil as my base really helps keep that makeup looking as realistic to skin as possible, because I do bake and I set and I layer a lot, especially, you know, when I'm doing more extravagant looks on, you know, whatever social media platform I'm doing it on. And the next thing that I like to do is I do like to go up with my facial roller. This just kind of helps up. I do have a little bit of a double chin, and sometimes I feel like that's a little bit more puffy when I got some lymph fluid hanging out there. So I like to just do a little tiny facial massage with my jade roller while I'm like, you know, at it. So this just helps kind of sculpt the face and takes away any puffiness. You know, if you went out last night, if you don't drink enough water, if you're like me, I love salt. I eat a lot of salty food. So I like to do this. I also like to get up in the nose and kind of, I have sinus allergies. I live in Oak Tree Central. So I just feel like this kind of helps get rid of any puffiness that I might have. And immediately I just like feel like my skin is starting to like feel better. It feels less tight and like tight in my jaw. I clench my jaws a lot. So now that I have my my basic skincare, I'm gonna go in with a primer. I really enjoy a dewy radiant primer. I'm gonna be using two. I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, super similar to the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I'm just going to, sorry if you see me looking down, I have mirrors everywhere, and I try not to be a creep and stare at myself and, you know, the phone. So yeah, that's what's going on there. So I'm just gonna kind of spread that around in the areas that I feel like I have a little bit more prominent appearance of pores and texture. The key is not to overuse this product though either. You don't want to like cake too much, because that's going to cause too much of a film, if you will. It's just going to be too much product in between your skin and your foundation. So I like to go back in and kind of pat that into those areas and try to do more of a filling in motion, if that makes sense. Whatever I feel like is on my finger, I just kind of pat around into the other areas. All right, so for my primer, I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer, Base Illuminating Primer. Does definitely have a nice sheen to it. I love that. I love it any time of the season, but especially in summer, like a nice glow is just my favorite. I'm just going to go again and press that into the skin, just because I don't want to smear around that putty that I already like strategically placed. Cool beans. Okay, so I am back, and this is, you know, the direction that I'm going in. Probably gonna add some lashes. I did throw on some foundation. I had a bite to eat and I threw on some foundation just because I didn't want to make this insanely long. So let's hop back into the eye. So the first things first is, ooh, I'm just gonna like get a little close up so you can kind of see where we're going. So then you can decide if you even want to like keep watching this. But the next thing I'm gonna use is the NYX Milk Pencil, and I'm actually just gonna kind of apply this in the areas that are going to be getting that color. And that kind of helped me map out where I was gonna go anyways. So I do kind of like doing that technique, you know, kind of basing out the areas that need it, especially in these like inverted cut crease kind of scenarios. That's what I'm calling this, like an inverted cut crease. Siren eye, smoky, I don't know. Definitely not for the faint of heart though, so there's that. So I'm just gonna blend that out like roughly with my finger, and then I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. Looks like this. It's extremely used and worn. I've had it forever. I think it was like $14 or something, but yeah, I got that off of Ulta.com, I believe. So I'm dipping into, I'm taking like a flat, you know, paddle brush like this, and I'm going to be dipping it into this purple. Boop, 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 boop. And I'm not even going to really mess around with like packing it off too much, because I want kind of like a good color payoff right off the bat. So I'm going to kind of match. So it might be easier if I go like this for you to watch, and it kind of gives me a dead set. I'm sorry if my mirror trails in front of the camera, but I kind of started that right here. And we're gonna kind of just take that all the way up into the brow bone, like so. I'm not gonna worry about it being perfect off the bat, because I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna kind of clean it up and fix it with some concealer, and then we're gonna smoke it out. So this is definitely like trust the process type of moment. So kind of like that, and then I'm gonna dip it a little bit more and just kind of place that where my wing is going to be. And I'm keeping this fairly like the Siren Eye type of technique, or the fox eye technique. It's just gonna be a very thin wing that kind of fades right into the center of the lash line, and then has a pretty narrow wing. And again, I'm gonna go over this with some liquid liner, so I'm not gonna go too crazy over it, but I am going to take a nice fluffy brush and just kind of smooth this out. Kind of looks like this. So And I'm going to kind of get close so that you can kind of see. And my wing's going to get perfected again with that liquid eyeliner that I'm going to go in with. So one more time, I'm going to dip that paddle brush into the purple and just kind of build that up one more time. And now I'm using a little bit more of a precise, like gentle tapping motion. And then gently just kind of go back and smooth it out. And now for the blue, I'm taking a slightly smaller, I should be naming this. This is the Morphe this is the Morphe M562 brush. It's a nice, like fairly tapered, thin blending brush. And I'm going to dip that into this blue. And I am going to tap that out a little bit just because I don't want it to be crazy. And I'm going to lightly touch these edges of the purple. And I'm just going to kind of build that up now. This is like one of those things. It's easier to add product before, you know, add product where you need it instead of having to go back and remove it. Which, you know, happens to the best of us, but yeah, I'm just going to kind of take my time here. And I'm, again, going to bring that fairly high up into the brow bone as well. Kind of like so. And now I have like one of these. I literally got this at the Dollar Tree. I know several makeup brands make it. It's just a quick switch shadow remover for dry makeup products. So any of your dry powders, you can just kind of gently rub it onto the can or onto this mesh. It's turning into an ASMR video. It has like this little kind of mesh and it like gently cleans. It doesn't deep clean, but it removes that surface powder off of it. So now that I have that, I'm still the same brush, but I am going to dust these edges and blend it out, that blue. So no product, I'm just going to gently buff that out. Cool. And it's just habit of me of always kind of going back and making sure that everything's even on both sides. Sweet. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, put the blue on this side. So I'm going to take this same brush and again, I'm going to dip it into that blue, but now I'm kind of picking up to make it a little bit more multi-dimensional. I'm kind of going like this and then tap, tap. So swirl, tap, tap, just to like give it a little bit more color. Definition, not just be, because my hair isn't just like baby blue, it's more on the teal, but I don't really have a teal right now, so. And I'm going to go over that wing like so. And I did carry it out pretty far on this side, so of course we're going to have to match it on this side the best that we can. Kind of like that. That's where I'm at right now. And I'm gonna just go like this. And kind of blend that out. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a teeny tiny little brush like this, and I have a little bit of water because I have the the Mayron Paradise makeup palette, and there is a purple in there that I'm going to use. This palette's just so big, I'm not going to put it on there, but it's literally the violet color in the palette. And I'm going to dip that in and get that activated. And now we're going to like make this look sharp. And this is what's going to give us that Siren Eye look. I like to use this for all my graphic liners. It's such a massive palette. It is a little bit on the pricier side, but it will last you forever and ever and ever. So the hardest part is just making sure that you get like a good consistency. So now what I'm going to do is kind of follow that outline that I already gave myself. I'm going to kind of like set it up like this too, so I can kind of see what I'm doing on both sides. And then you see like I kind of like rest my finger. And slowly start trying to get these to match. Ooh, I can see this is gonna be one of those days that this one's gonna be thicker than the other one, but let's see. Gotta trust it. Okay, so I like to take a flat, dense concealer brush and some of the, like a concealer. This is the Sephora Make No Mistake foundation / concealer. I just pick up a little bit and now I'm gonna clean up this. That really kind of sharpens the wing. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to kind of buff that out too, because it got a little too thick right there. So like concealer's your best friend. Just kind of use it a little sparingly and like precisely, and you can fix a lot of mistakes. So all right, getting closer. Sweet. So now I'm going to kind of match up the inner eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just like this. And to make it kind of look feline, you know, I'm kind of staying right in that inner corner. And it does tickle, so just be prepared for that. And then kind of just drag it out slowly but surely. And that gives that very like in, you know, turned in feline sultry look. So now let's go and kind of like even everything out and reblend out this blue a little bit, our blue eyeshadow. Just throwing things around. Awesome. And now I'm going to take that same liner with the purple, and we're just going to kind of make more of a cut crease with this shadow on the purple on this inverted side. Yeah, I think that's pretty close. So now I'm gonna go back in with this paddle brush that we used for the purple and the BH Cosmetics palette. I'm giving that liner just a moment to kind of dry down, obviously. But I am going to take that and set this inner corner because, you know, your eyes, your inner corners can get a little, you know, more damp. And I find setting it with a little bit of powder prevents it from getting like that gunk in the middle or in the inner corner of your eye. And then I am going to just set it as well out here because we're in Florida and it's very hot here. So the more we can set, the better. And now I'm going to like kind of sharpen this up underneath. This is what's going to make it look real defined. So I got to adjust, but this is what's going to make it look real defined and sharp and kind of like fix up any areas that might not be as perfect. And I did like throw on like a blue liner, but it's so dry. I don't know if I'm going to try that again. I guess I am. It's literally like an old Jordana colored lash. It's in the shade Bliss. I have no idea if they even make this anymore. It's like literally so old. Let's hop into some contouring and some highlighting and like get the show on the road. So this is kind of like where we're at with the eye right now. Just so that you guys aren't like feeling like I'm totally lopsided, I'm going to throw a little bit of mascara on. This is, I've had this mascara forever, but never used it. So it's kind of like brand new, but it's not brand new, if that makes sense. It is the It Cosmetics Lash Blowout. It literally looks like a, you know, like a barrel brush, whatever that's called. I don't do hair, so. But I'm just going to put on a thin coat real quick. And I'm so crazy. I forgot to put on the glitter. Duh, that's the best part. What am I doing? Okay, so the best part, which is the glitter, is going to be the Fenty Beauty How Many Carats Diamond Bomb. She's been beaten up. She's well loved. And I'm actually just going to take my ring finger like this. And we are going to fill it into this white space. So right here where I had a little bit of the foundation, I'm actually going to blend that out. And ooh, look at that. Isn't that so pretty? I'm going to like get close up so you can kind of see. Ooh. So pretty. And I'm going to extend that out to right here as well. But I'm focusing it right in the middle, like where we had that inverted cut crease type of look going on. So glitter makes everything better. Everything. If you hate the look, douse it in glitter. I promise you, you'll feel better. I am going to be using for my my like contouring contour stick is going to be this guy, the Make No Mistake Sephora foundation. It's in the shade 09, which is Sandalwood. It is a little warm, but I'm going to go in with a cool tone powder and like kind of balance it out. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it from the top point of my ear, and I don't use much. So top point of the ear, boom. And I like to go like that and like that. I do contour my nose a little bit, a little under the lips. Like that. And then we're going to switch over to the same brand and product, just changing shades, which is the 01 Driftwood. And I'm going to put that here and here. There. Thin little there. So it's kind of like acts like as a little bit more extra coverage too. So if you are not wanting something that has extra coverage. Well, I guess that like lies because it just puts pigment, but this is marketed as a foundation concealer stick as well. So you can expect there to be a saturation of pigment, which is extra coverage. So, okay. So now to kind of even out and bring down some of that warmth, that like orangey kind of tone we got going on, I am going to use the old school Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. It's like the little mini one. Oop, kind of just keeping that right in that placement. And this is just giving some dimension. It's like, you know, kind of giving us more of a cooler dimension. That's giving the sculpted contour chiseled look, while that warmer tone is giving us like warmth and bronze and like, you know, the sun-kissed type of look. Contour my nose just a little bit. I'm gonna take this same palette, but a thinner brush, a thinner blending brush. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's just like an angled brush. So this is gonna give it a little bit more of a pigment payoff. So I'm gonna go pretty light-handed with this, and I'm just going to I'm carrying that into my brow. I know it looks a little crazy right now, but I'm going to take this big fluffy brush, and it has some leftover powder on it, and I'm just going to pat that down because I don't want to smear it all over. I like where I placed it, but I don't want it to be as scary. You see that? You see that? And I didn't have to do a lot. I'm literally like pop, 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 pop. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this powder. It's the Revlon blurring powder. I got this by mistake, but it was like a surprisingly nice little mistake. Looks like this. It's in the shade, I don't know, super light. But I'm going to pick it up on that same brush, and I'm going to pat it right here. I'm going to kiss these edges so that this is all nicely blended. And under the eyes, and on the forehead too. And that just like really softened everything up. And then I like to kind of buff out underneath the neck too, so that it's not like so harsh either. All right. And while that's setting, I'm going to do some lips. So what I think I'm going to come up with, what I think I came up with is this kind of like, sorry, it's like this brown lip liner. It's literally brown molasses from Sephora. Oh my gosh, my hair. She's a little janky. I messed up when I was sharpening her. I sharpened her wrong, so she's a little sharp. She's a little scary looking. But yeah, I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna use this as my lip liner. And I am slightly overdrawing my lips, just slightly. Okay, so now that I have that brown, I'm actually gonna go in with a second lip liner. And this is the Huda Beauty Lip Contour. It's in the shade Trophy Wife. Should have probably sharpened her, but I didn't. I'm actually going to go like that. So it's kind of like a berry to chocolate. Actual lip, I'm using the old school NYX lip lingerie. Ooh, what am I doing? The lip lingerie, and it is in shade Embellishment. So it's kind of like this cool tone, purpley. I wanted the lip to be kind of wearable, but let's see. It might be too dark. Okay, so I actually didn't end up changing the lip. What I did, because it was just a little too warm tone, I have this Kat Von D Studded Kiss lipstick in the shade Coven, and I actually, like, you can see the difference between, I just rubbed that in the middle, like so, and it's such a subtle difference, but it totally cooled down the look, making it more of a cooler tone nude lip. So I'm actually kind of pleased with that. And I did throw on a lash and some highlight just to kind of see where I'm going. So that's how we're going to end this video. So for the lash, I'm using the Hi Darling Cosmetics lashes. It's in the shade Kelly. This is a really cool lash because especially for this Siren Eyes, Fox Eye, very subtle, sultry, lifted type of trend going on, this lash is already like naturally set up like that. So I did trim it fairly short, and I'm going to throw some glue on it. Actually, they're fresh out the box, so I'm going to go kind of loosen up that band a little bit, but I'm using the Duo Lash Glue. She's pretty used and abused, been around the block a few times, so like it looks disgusting, but there's still glue in there, so I'm gonna use it. And I do like to focus like kind of more on the ends too. And I did already put mascara on. You guys remember that I showed you that, but like look at that. I just can't. So we're gonna let this get tacky. It's like a clump of glue. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of follow that little line that I already placed with the liner because I don't want to change the shape of the eye. So that's why I trim this pretty shortly. And you see how I'm kind of going in like this? My lash is lifted up. And I'm gonna take that end and I'm actually gonna pull it more upwards. So I'm not gonna follow the natural down, like the natural lash line. I'm going to actually push that bad boy up. And you see how that, ooh, you see it, I see it, you see it, we all see it. We love it. Okay, so, and I'm gonna pinch that inner corner down. So now you can kind of see my lashes going with the line, and it almost just looks like it's part of the liner. And while that glue's drying down, I'm going to take a little bit. So my highlighter today is actually going to be from the All Amethyst ColourPop Cosmetics palette. And this shade Brilliant right here with this highlighter brush, I'm just going to go in. And it kind of has like a cool tone, purpley kind of vibe going. And I'm going to kind of just go that up in the temples like so. And I already did it down the bridge of my nose, so. And I always just like, I live for, yes, yes. Okay, so my glue should have dried down like relatively decently. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, my mascara brush, and I'm actually gonna push this up and push my natural lashes up into it as well, because you can kind of see they go down a little. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna just flake off that little thing of the mascara, and it just barely got on the surface. So I'm just gonna gently just kind of flick that off, and then using the same highlighter brush, I'm not gonna pick any other highlighter up, but I'm just gonna go like that. And obviously you can see that I did something with my hair. So, yeah, this is the vibe. I'm not going to do anything today, so I'm not going to get dressed for anything. But let's spray this down one more time. And, yeah. Sweet. So I'm just going to take a moment to dry. But this is the completed look. It is a two-tone inverted, matches my amazing split dye. I know this video was a long one, but I hope you guys learned some things, and I hope you didn't mind my rambling. I hope that you enjoyed that.